everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Curry TV. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a spicy roasted lobster tail. Let's take a look at all the ingredients we'll be using for this recipe. I'm going to be using coconut oil, homemade ginger garlic paste. If you're using store-bought, no problem. I got 4 green chilies, fennel powder, coriander powder, turmeric powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, 4 dried red chilies, the whole itself, and red chili paprika powder itself. And then I have 1 medium-sized red onion and 1 medium-sized Roma-sized tomato. I'm going to be showing you, talking to you deeply into how you want it, when you want it, and all that stuff. We need fresh curry leaves along with salt and pepper. And I'm going to be using Cambodge. Now Cambodge you have seen in my channel. I've used it many times. This is typically used for seafood purposes to give that nice sourness, that just thickness to your gravy and all that kind of stuff. So this is 2 to 3, depending on the size of your lobster, 2 to 3 Cambodge pieces that I tear them apart and soaked it in water for about half an hour to anywhere from half an hour to 1 hour is essential. So then that releases all its flavor and you get that extract out of that Cambodge. Now Cambodge is actually in the family of tamarind. So in case if you did not get this, you can substitute with more of the tomatoes, or you could use the tamarind pulp that is easily available store-wide. We need some water. Now many of you guys have been asking us how to get, what is the difference between cumin and fennel. The fennel is the green one here. So I usually store it in a glass container like so, in an airtight container, so it's easily accessible and you can just restock them according to the use of that you guys do. So this I just took about a pinch or so and I just powdered them into nice fine powder, and that's what this is. So just not it just garnishing purposes, it just enhances the flavor of our lobster. And for this evening what I'm going to be using is cold water lobster tail. When you get you to a lobster tail, they come like so, right? It'll be all covered, all good to go. There is a vein that runs right through the middle of the lobster, which we don't want. That's the intestine, and where all the poop and stuff is there. So what we do is just cut that right in the middle, take that out. So that's deveining your lobster. After that, you are more than welcome to take your lobster and then open it up like so, so that you can insert all your masalas, right? So it absorbs all that flavor in. Now I didn't do it to both of them. I just did for one so that I can show you how to do it. Now they will be sticking to the shell of our lobster. So without, just a little bit of TLC, just hold them apart, and you see how they are sticking together to the shell. Just run your fingers through or your knife and it will come right out. And I did not cut anything at the bottom, it's just at the top. Now if you are sharing this, once you cooked it, for presentation wise, that's why I'm leaving like so, but you're more than welcome to cut it all the way in half if you guys are sharing this. For one good sized meal, half of this is filling, so just according to your desire, you just change it along. When you're preparing your lobster, a pair of gloves would be handy, so that it doesn't stain your fingers, because we are using turmeric powder, and the spiciness, the paprika powder, could be a little feisty. So to prevent all that, you could wear a gloves or put some oil on your hands. I'm using gloves here. So you take your lobster. We need about half a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Now it all depends on the size of your lobster, and so this is a pretty medium sized lobster tail that I'm using. Just reserving a little bit for our gravy, and then we need our Kashmiri red chili powder. Reserve some to your desire for gravy, and this is our paprika powder. Now this one does give a kick, so depending on your spiciness, how tolerant you are, add your paprika powder in there. Now I have total of 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder all prepared, the Kashmiri and red chili powder. So just give it a mix, right? And then use the salt to crack some salt in there. Let's give it a good mix. And then you could have two choices. You could use regular water or Cambodge water to mix this gravy in so that it adds into that, the meat, the lobster tail will absorb all that flavor. So I'm just adding just a tiny bit of turmeric, Cambodge water here. Just a tiny bit of Cambodge water. Okay. The rest we will use it when our gravy is prepared. So take your lobster tail, widen it all up, get that masala all in there. Be generous because we are going to shallow fry them and then roast them. Okay, so let's get all of that flavor into our lobster tail. It's very easily available nowadays, especially in Costco, Bingo, any grocery stores that you guys go to. These are some of the common ones that we go. Kroger's, Fred Meyer's, the Safeway, they all will have it. So that's one of them, prepared and ready to go. Let's keep this baby to the side and let's get the next one marinated. So like I said, don't feel shy. Open it wide so that you can get the masalas all up in there. Okay. And then we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes while we work on our gravy. Alright guys, in the meantime I did chop up our onion. We need about 1 cup of that, and that one good size, medium size Roma tomato that I finely diced so that it thickens our gravy. So let's start our stove and get this show on the road. Into a nice wide skillet, I'm pouring in about a tablespoon of coconut oil. The reason why I'm using a wide skillet is that we're going to be shallow frying our lobster tail while the rest of the gravy is bubbling around the sides. So I'll show you all about it. Let's wait for this to heat up. So into our hot oil, we are going to place about 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Now I'm using homemade ginger garlic paste. You're more than welcome to use store-bought. Okay, we're just going to saute this for a few minutes. Our oil is infused with that ginger garlic paste. Into this we're going to add few of our green chilies. You could dice them or cut them in half. That's what I'm going to do. Use a pair of kitchen shears to cut open your green chilies so that in case if you don't want it, you can take it out later on. Next goes our masalas. In goes our coriander powder, the reserved turmeric powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, and our paprika. Okay, this you guys have to play with it to find out what your tolerance level is. Because I'm using the nice spicy one, this is a spicy roasted lobster tail. We need a nice kick into that, so therefore I am using a tablespoon or so. You could change that as you are making this gravy. Let's place 1 sprig of curry leaves. Into that goes our onion. Let's mix it all up. Now remember that we did marinate our lobster tail with salt. So according to your gravy, how thick you like your gravy, just add a little bit more salt to it. And some black pepper. Smells good. Very good. Let's saute this. Since we added salt, it will wilt down really fast. Okay, into this goes all our tomato. Now you could choose to opt out of the tomato, but when you use the tomato, it will bring down the spiciness a bit. So that is also a tip. It also adds as a thickening agent for our gravy. Okay, I got 4 dried red chilies here. In your palm of your hands, just crush them and release them into the gravy. Okay, into our gravy, we're going to pour in some more Cambodge water. We did pour a little bit of this in our masala when we were marinating it. So according to your tolerance level, the Cambodge, the sourness, each brand comes with various Cambodge, so use it, taste it before you add more. So I'm just adding just about 1/4 cup right now, because we also have our tomato. Beautiful. Now I'm going to make a well in the middle so that I can place our lobster tails right in the middle, so that it just adds all those flavor, absorbs all that flavor into it, and then we can just thicken it up as we go forward. Our lobster tails are ready to go in. It's been about 10 minutes. Seafood doesn't take a long time to cook, so it will change color, you guys. Stay right there and just let that baby absorb all that flavor into it, and then we can coat the inner with that nice juicy tamarind juice or combo juice, whatever you're using, along with tomatoes and onion. Okay, let's cook about 5 to 7 minutes on each side, and then I'll show you how that looks like. Okay, let's give it a flip. If you don't want your lobster to curl up, just cut by the bottom of there, and by each legs, just cut them a small slit so that it doesn't curl up. Okay, I got my crew laughing at me when I was explaining that, that's why. Let's give it another flip and cook for another 5 to 7 minutes. Alright, you guys, we are coming somewhat close to our ending here. So we're going to top it up with some more fresh leaves of curry leaves. Along with that, gravy has thickened so much that juicy tomatoes and onion is so well immersed into our lobster. So next thing what we're going to do is just top it up some fennel powder. Now that enhances the flavor completely, so please try this out. Okay, beautiful. Let's give it a final toss and we are done. There you guys, it is completely done. We are going to turn off our stove. It's time to serve them, and I'll show you how that looks like. Alright, there you have it. Our spicy roasted lobster tail is ready. I just prepared them and just put it on a banana leaf so that it is somewhat reminding us of back home. Definitely try this out at home. It's very easy. It's just a little bit of chopping for tomatoes and onions and ginger garlic paste and stuff, but rest is all coming out so good. The lobster tail is full of flavor. So really, the Cambodge water, that tomato, everything just absorbed well into our lobster tail. So it's full of just bursting with flavors. Try this out at home and let me know in the feedbacks how it turned out for you. What did you do? Any alternatives? There's one option that you guys can do, which is add coconut milk or cashew nut paste. Both of those will thicken up the gravy and give lighter flavor of the spiciness. So in case if you feel this is too spicy for you but not that quite, add the cashew paste or coconut milk, and that should do the trick. I'll see you guys next time on Curry TV, and thank you. Bye.